Hello and welcome to the channel. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking this rosemary as well as another rosemary and taking some clippings off of it. This rosemary is looking real sad, so on this windy day, I am going to make a new plant. Stay tuned. In this container, I have some pre-moistened soil. This rosemary did not bounce back from last year, so I have some seeds I'm also going to try to germinate. I'm going to be cleaning it up, taking away all of the dead debris, and if any of these green tops are viable, that's what I'll be placing in the moistened soil off to the right. I have some rooting hormone, so let me get this cleaned up before I start clipping. The wind is outrageous today. I am desperately trying to keep everything from blowing over. I've already had to pick up a few pots off of the ground, so I'm trying to keep my clippings from blowing everywhere. The weatherman says the wind is somewhere between 23 and 30 miles an hour. If you can hear it, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the noise so that you can hear it, this wind is really cutting up. Now that I've cut off the vast majority of the dead, now it's time to get these green tops cut back and placed inside of the soil. Please excuse the shaking of my camera. That's the wind. I am trying to keep it from blowing it over. Now that I have the dead cut off, I'm just going to rough up the top surface soil so that the plant will hopefully revive. It may not do anything, but I am going to place seeds in here. So I do want that soil to be a little loose, but I'm not going to place the seeds in today. I'm going to soak these seeds overnight and place them in this pot tomorrow. I was going to place them in here dry, but I changed my mind. I decided to see if wetting them, soaking them in water, would make them germinate quicker and be a bit stronger. So this is me thinking about what I want to do. Now, I did sow this pot that I'm working in right now from seed, and the opposite pot, I bought that plant. So what I'm replacing is what I sowed from seed. As you can see, I don't have very many seeds, so I'm going to be soaking all of these to create another plant. As I'm out and about tomorrow, I think I'll pick up a packet of rosemary seeds if I can find them. Rosemary is a perennial, and I want rosemary in my garden for as long as I can have it in the garden. So replacing a packet of seeds when I've run out of something is always what I'm going to do when I'm at this point, like now, when I have a plant that's on its way out. That way, if I do need to sow seeds again, I already have them. Now that I've decided on what I really want to do with the pot that I just pushed off to the side, it's time to go and clean this pot up and then begin to cut off some new clippings to create some new plants. I want to have as much rosemary as I can in the garden because I love the smell of it. I don't really like using it in my dishes when I'm cooking, but it's good for teas and many other things. I'll put some information in the description box below on the benefits, medicinal benefits of rosemary. What I'm showing you here is there is a woody part of the rosemary. That's the old part. And then there's the new growth that has the nice young green shoots. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take as many green shoots as I can and cut it back right up until the woody part. Here is what I mean by the stem being woody. If you can see right in here, there's a huge or a long wooden stem, and up towards my fingers, you'll see the stem is green. So I'm going to cut it right up until I get to the tip of that woody part. I'm just going to take a little bit of that wood and mainly the green. Now, because I don't want to stress out this clipping, I am going to cut it in half, make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to end up taking some of the leaves off the base where I'm going to place it inside of the rooting hormone and then add that into the soil. Once you take those leaves off, that is where the roots will come out once you put the rooting hormone on it. I hope you all can see. I'm trying not to make too much of a mess, but this is a bit risky. The wind is blowing so hard that I'm getting debris in my face and I've gotten some things in my eyes. So I'm trying to hurry this along and get these clippings done as quickly as possible. I'm going to take some more clippings, so let me speed this up. Now that I have taken all the rosemary clippings I want to take, I've decided to get my monstered lavender and take clippings off of it. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm cleaning the plant up. I have several plants. I've cleaned all of those up. And so this plant was the most vigorous as far as spring growth. So I'm going to be taking clippings off of it, peeling the leaves off of the base, adding rooting hormone, placing it in the same container as the rosemary, and then placing this in my outdoor greenhouse to see if I can have some new plants, because I would love to have a huge row of rosemary and lavender. That's a potted row because in my garden, I have a potted patio garden. So I want to have pots of rosemary and lavender all around. It smells great, it tastes great in teas, and the flowers bring in beneficial insects. I'm recycling. For me, I'm always trying to recycle, but today my sister gifted me some spinach in this plastic container and I decided to reuse it. So I've placed some pre-moistened soil in here. I'm taking my plant clippings and I'm making a miniature greenhouse. Let's speed this up. I want to thank you for spending this afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are with me. I have decided to propagate as early as I can, and spring is a good time to propagate. So I've placed some mulch on top of this lavender plant, and back in the garden it's going to go. If you like this content, do me a favor, hit that like button, share my content, and subscribe to the channel if you are so inclined to do so. I want to thank everyone who watches my videos. I greatly appreciate you leaving me comments and watching if you're subscribed or unsubscribed. So now I'm going to place my newly planted or newly clipped clippings in the greenhouse and see in a few weeks if I've got new plants. So thanks for joining along, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.